So what I'm going to do is I got one of these lights here, and I don't want to use alkaline batteries. I don't want to use these AAA batteries. So I'm going to use some lithium batteries that I got. There's some leftover from old cell phones I've had or whatever. And what's important though is that the batteries here are 3.7 volt nominal, fully charged is around 4.2, and that if you have 3 alkaline batteries in series like this is, the voltage is pretty much close enough that you can get away with doing a one-to-one swap. The only thing is, a lot of times they don't fit one-to-one, or you can't make it to where you can just pop it in. So I'm going to add a protection board and also a USB charger board. So I have one here kind of halfway wired up. So the way how this works is that the charger, you plug in the USB charger here, and then there's 4 contact points, the B plus and B minus, that's where you hook up the battery, and then the outside ones that say out minus and out positive there, that's the output that goes to like your light or your motor or whatever you want to use. In this case, the output's going to go here and to this LED. So I'm going to fit this in here and a battery in there. Therefore, I can charge that battery with a USB up from the outside. So I got to make a hole for the USB charger and get everything to fit inside and then test it out. Make sure it charges, make sure it works. I've already made a few of these already. They work really well. And you don't have to worry about burning up batteries all the time. You can just simply just plug it in and charge it. So I'm going to open this one up real quick here. So this one here, it's actually different than the other ones I've got. This one comes with Velcro pre-attached. The other ones I got did not have that. There's just 4 screws and then a simple little that's not molded very well. And it fits 3 AAA. So we're going to disassemble all this. Maybe get a Dremel and cut all that out to make more room and then glue the cover back on or something. But let's see how it... Let's take it apart and see what happens here. Okay, so I got the screws loose here. And what we're going to need is just a multimeter, a length of wire, something thin, some batteries, a protection board. These you can get on eBay fairly cheap. I got a 10-pack of them for like $4 or something. They were super cheap. And so there it is. Oh man, that's way simpler than the other ones I got. So it just has wow, okay, so this is just the toggle switch here to turn it on and off, and that gets toggled by this. When you toggle this, it toggles this on and off. Wow, that's gonna break. That's it. Okay, so we just got to desolder the battery holder, put in the lithium battery in line. And there's actually quite a bit of room in here. I might be able to just fit one of these in there somehow next to the alkaline battery, maybe wired in parallel. Put a diode in there so I can use alkaline or lithium. Pondering different options here. Man, this is cheaply made. No heat sink on that LED or anything. Okay, well, I'm gonna... That's too small. Yeah, let me disassemble real quick here. Desolder those. Also having some solder, some kind of a soldering iron, some cutters and other things will make life easier and better, I guess. So while that warms up here, come on, you. This thing takes a little bit to warm up. This thing's old. Come on, warm up. Okay. It's probably really cheap solder that they use. Yeah, they're using some crap solder. It's probably glue, knowing them. There we go. Yeah, it's just crap solder. There we go, got that off. Let me disassemble this, maybe cut this off. Yeah. Let me go about that. Let me get this switch off this. Come on, you melt that solder. Yeah, they're just using some really trash solder on these. It just doesn't want to melt. I'm melting the plastic, but not the solder, because the solder's trash. I might just snip. Oh, there it goes. Wasn't supposed to do that, but alrighty then. Yeah, simple switch. Okay, so I'm just going to get and cut this out, this battery pack out, and make room for a bigger battery. I don't know if I can get that to fit in there, but that'll be nice. I'll have like a 2-day battery run time or something crazy. So hang tight, I'm gonna cut that out real quick. So I did my second favorite thing to do and just run a hot soldering iron around it. So with some luck. If you have a Dremel, it might be easier, or like a small knife or something. Just there we go. Now we can just replace the battery door. Hopefully I did not distort the plastic too much. Maybe I did, huh? Oh well. Probably get it to fit back on with a hammer. There we go. A little bit of hammer action off camera. It fits quite nicely, and there's lots of room in there. I wonder if I can get one of these guys to fit. Happy day. It looks like it'll fit. So, yeah. That looks pretty good. I'm going to glue that in there. Let me make sure this battery works. I haven't used it in a few years. These things are old. Yeah, some of my stuff here is like old BlackBerry stuff, old 10-year-old stuff. So use it for little projects and things like this. Let me test this battery. I don't know if it's any good. It probably is. So after sitting for quite a while, it's still at 3.65 volts. It's a little low, but I can charge it. So I have it hooked up kind of like I'm gonna get it in a getaway like this on the output. So the output is what I'm gonna solder to the LED, and I might do that just to check it out. So yeah, it needs to be charged. So let me give that a good charge here. Well, let's solder it up. I got some wires and things. Let's just solder it up and see how it looks. Okay, so I have one of them soldered in. I soldered in the positive lead. I can't do this with one hand, but I'm going to give it a go. So, and if I just touch it on the negative output terminal, it lights up nice and bright. So it's good enough. So I'm going to find a good place to put this, a good place to put this. I'm not going to use a stupid connector. It's just going to be a straight wire. And then, yeah, it's going to be fun. So you also need to see how this fits. Put this cover on there, make sure I'm not impeding this from moving, because it still needs to rock to turn on and off this ghetto switch here. And the other thing I can do is put in an actual toggle switch or a push button switch or something. So, but I want to kind of try to make it keep it to look original. So one of the things that I found was when putting this on here with the switch in place, that there's a rocker that goes here, which is this pin right here, but there's also a second pin here for for a second switch that can be installed there. The problem is this battery is so large that it covers that, so it won't install. So I got to remove this pin right here. And that's where these come in quite handy right here. And I'm just gonna lop it off. And it should be enough now. It should just go together, and then this will rock back and forth, but the wires are all funny, so it's not going to work, but it's okay. So I think the fitment is good on this, so I think there's almost enough room for the charger. So here's the board I'm going to use. These are pretty cheap on eBay. So it has the charger and then the protection board. And the protection boards are nice because what they do is they turn off the charging when the battery is full, and they disconnect the battery when the battery is too low, so you don't over discharge the battery and damage it. So I might be able to fit it here or something, or shove it under there and poke a hole there and glue it in. I think that's what I'm going to do. That actually looks kind of good there, right in the center. Let me burn a hole through there, stick that in there, and wire it up, glue it down, hook everything up, and it should be good to go. So I got this guy here to fit. I just got to glue it in. It looks good enough. I just got to glue it in real quick here. So I put a little dab of glue on it. I'm gonna put some epoxy on it later, but let's just see. They make these USB-C. They also, this is a micro one. This is super duper old. I got these years ago. So with some luck, I'm gonna plug in the charger cable here. There. So it works. So I just got to put this battery in there here. I put solder points on the positive and negative there. So usually they're labeled. Some of the other batteries here, they don't have labels on them. So what I did, I just put solder points on all four and tested it out with the multimeter to figure out which pins were which. This battery is starting to bulge in the middle, so I probably won't ever use that one. The Samsung batteries are usually a bit better. So so I just got to fit this guy in there like this. Solder these two to the B plus and B minus, and then the minus, probably on my negative, I'm going to go to the switch, and the positive goes straight to the LED. So let's solder this thing up real quick with some of my lengths of wire here. This is off a Ethernet cord. This is for like the Wake on LAN cable or whatever. So I don't use these anymore. I have a whole shoebox full of them, and I use them for wiring stuff. So this is what it looks like now. The board, the positive going to the LED, negative to LED goes to one half of the switch, the other half of the switch goes to the output board, then the positive and negative of the charge board go to the corresponding on the battery. That works there. And what we're going to do here, is charging the battery. And that'll light up blue when it's fully charged. There we go, let's put the screws back in it, and now it seems to work. What I'm going to do now is plug it in here. And it's charging. So red is charging. You can run it while it's charging. And when that turns blue, that means it's fully charged. Pretty slick, huh? Never need to buy batteries again. So So what I found is that nearly anything that has 3 alkaline batteries, so like 3 AAA, 3 AA, you can replace them with a lithium battery. And I like using the cell phone board batteries because they have a protection board in them already. A lot of them have like temperature protection, overcharge, over discharge, short circuit protection, that kind of stuff. So that's good. Plus with the charge protection board, it's like it's double protected. So these things are pretty dangerous, yeah, but if you do it right, you respect the power, respect the danger, but you deal with it in your build, and you address all the dangers with everything. Use a good protection board, good chargers, don't use trash. And some of these are over 10 years old, but they work great. So, and I have one of these I built a few years ago. My daughter uses it every night for her nightlight, and works pretty good. I picked up a few more of these because it's just a super helpful, tremendous, awesome thing to have. So, so that's the tutorial on how to assemble one of these, put together. You can utilize some old cell phone batteries. I know we all have cell phones, so we all have, well, at least me, I have a handful of these that I use in little projects and things, and so that's it. Well, thank you, and have a great day.